Hey, what's up? It's Andre Farnell, and I hope your day is awesome. Let me get in the camera nicely. So there's a question that I had posed to me today by about free men, but what I'm going to share in this video can apply to women as well. And the question was, now that I'm 30, why am I accumulating body fat so rapidly? All right. The guys that asked me this question were specifically talking about their chest and their upper extremities, and women and their abs, their stomach, midsection. Women mostly ask me this question in general about legs, and then also cellulite in the back of the legs, especially, and then also the midsection. So I have a great reason why, and also I have some remedies. So think about this. Every single decade of your life, you're a different body. You're in a different body. You might be the same person internally, fundamentally, internally, and as far as your mind is concerned, that might be the same too. But your body is definitely going to be different. Think about 7 years ago, and then think about how you were 7 years before that, and think about 7 years before that. Your body is an entirely different body. And the reason that is because there's hormones in our body that react in different ways in different stages of our body. So let's take adolescence, for example. Both a man and a woman, boys and girls, they go through adolescence, they get older. So they both increase the amount of intake that they have as far as calories are concerned, right? And what happens is a guy, he metabolically and hormonally gets broader shoulders, right? And then, bigger upper body, arms, and he's becoming a man. His voice cracks and all that. Women, they get their shape, all those secondary female shit, all of the breast and the hips. They get all that, right? But both of them increase the amount of food that they intake. So think about going through your decades. So you have your 10 through 20 years, and then you have your 20 through 30 years. Your body is so forgiving because hormonally and metabolically, everything is working faster, right? When you move, you burn more calories as a younger person. Every action takes more energy when you're younger. And when you do crazy workouts, you recover a lot quicker. It's because of the level of hormones that you have. So genetically, we all have the same amount of fat cells and the same amount of muscle cells that we have when we were in the womb. And those cells don't become more or become less in most cases. What they do is they just expand and contract. So as we grow older, we become less active. If you're not exercising and training at a vigorous manner, you also develop having less lean muscle mass. Having less lean muscle mass can increase the amount of adipose tissue that you have. And especially in men, we're learning that testosterone levels are hitting lower levels in men at younger ages. And that's just because we live in an estrogenic world. We have a lot of toxins that we're taking in, and we're probably in the most toxic environment we've ever been as human beings. So you got to look at your body fat now that you're 30 or 30 plus. I could talk about that because I'm 38 now. And I notice changes in my body, right? So our bodies are constantly under attack by detergents, by dyes in our clothes, by additives in our food, by just a ton of environmental things like plastics, the quality of our air, pollutants in the air. So our bodies are constantly fighting, right? So if your body is constantly fighting, there's a cocktail of hormones that get released into the blood, which is like cortisol, norepinephrine, epinephrine, all of these adrenal hormones. Those hormones add to the girth around our waist. And then it's a terrible trifecta if you're not doing anything to detoxify. So if you find that you're over 30 and you're gaining body fat mass at a rate which is alarming and you can't get it off, it's because the anxiety and the stress of your environment is high. So your detoxification methods have to be high as well. So that's key number one. Try to clear out your body. You could do that by drinking tons of water. You could do that also by eating cruciferous vegetables. So that's like your broccoli, your cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, things that are leafy. For women, especially fibrous vegetables, fibrous, whole grain, everything. Because fiber clears out the antioxidants and also lower the type of estrogen in women's bodies that make them more prone and susceptible to gaining body fat. Huge. So fiber, and at least 25 to 30 grams of fiber should be eaten every day. This is for women, but also for men as well. Fiber clears us out. So detoxification is number one. Your body might even be inflamed. And inflamed, you're just going to look softer and fatter. You know? This might be habitual foods that you're allergic to as well. And what I suggest in that instance is do not eat the same food 3 days in a row, right? You sort of want to start doing these tests where you eat a food and you give it a break and you see what your body does, and then reintroduce that food. If you eat it 3 days in a row and you have some sort of allergic reaction, it could be a skin reaction, you could just feel like fluffier and more tight around your joints and everything, then it's a high indication that you might have an allergic reaction to that food, or you might be inflamed. Also stress. If you do not have any mental tools, this is number two. If you do not have any mental tools to deal with stress, if you don't do something you love every day, if you don't take time for yourself to meditate every day, at least 5 minutes. If you're not actively handling stress, guess what? You're going to be fatter, you're going to have more aches, you're going to feel older, you're going to have more pain. And in men, that means accumulation of fat in the upper extremities by the heart, which is why we die faster than women, because our fat accumulates up there. So 2, learn how to handle stress. Adopt some form of meditation, workout, exercise. Do something that brought you peace when you were young as a kid. Do it now as a grown-up. That'll help you. So reintroduce it at the age of over 30. And make peace, make time for yourself. And the third thing that I could give you is look at micronutrients. So micronutrients is the things like selenium, chromium, magnesium. Magnesium is another huge one for men because it helps to regulate the amount of testosterone secreted in our bodies. It's also a detoxifier as well. And you want to have, you know, because fat accumulates, and when it accumulates, it holds in the toxins. And the toxins make your body inflamed, make you sick, make you have diseases. So cleanse it out with the magnesium. Have too much magnesium, though, it's going to send you to the bathroom and you'll have diarrhea. Not a good thing. But it's necessary for increased testosterone in men. A better, deeper sleep in both men and women. So think of trace minerals. You should have a really good multivitamin, and if you can, get chelated magnesium and take it right before bed. That's another big thing. And then for all you people who work out, who exercise, who train, another reason we hold fat is because as we get older, our activity levels get lower. So when you're training, when you're lifting weights, increase the amount of time under tension that your muscles have. So, a lot of people think lighter weight, more repetitions. Well, that's cool and all, but it won't really change the increase in your lean muscle mass, which is what's important. That's what's going to burn the body fat. It won't increase that unless your time under tension is longer. So let's say you were doing a set of squats and you were doing squats, right, up and down, up and down. You did them really, really quick, and it takes the same time that it would take you to do 5 heavy ones. You have not increased the amount of time under tension. Therefore, you haven't burned the amount of calories that you could burn, and you also have not fatigued the muscle for a longer period of time. And that's what you want to do. You want to have that muscle under stress for a long period of time. Think about anything in life. You introduce a stress to you for a long period of time, you become used to it, your body is going to acclimate and change to it. So increase the amount of time it takes you to do the up of an exercise and the down of an exercise. So let's say we had a bench press, you're pushing 1, 2, 3. It should take a longer period of time. Don't just rush through your sets like this just to move the weight. Instead of moving the weight, use the weight. Time under tension is huge for muscles. It's gonna help the muscles grow. It's gonna burn more fat overall. And that's pretty much it. So a quick recap, look at the amount of stress that you have and whether or not you can handle it. 2, look at time under tension, which I just covered. So increase the amount of time under tension. Also increase the amount of joints that move in your workout. So more total body work, total body exercises. Don't just do bicep curls. That ain't gonna burn any amount of calories. And first one was to have go in there with the mindset that your body is a brand new body. It's not the same body you had. So don't expect it to be ripped and lean. You have to train smarter over 30 than you ever had. Your body's not as forgiving. And remember to detox. Detoxification. Detox with your food, detox with your mind, detox with everything that you do. Erase the people in your life that are toxic as well. That'll help you decrease some stuff, some body fat. That's pretty much it. Guys, it's been real. Write in the comments underneath, and what I'm going to do is put in the comments a link to a study that shows how important and how powerful mindset is over body fat levels, over testosterone levels, over recovery. Quick synopsis. I didn't want to make this a 15-minute video, so I got to get it out quick. There were 53 mixed martial art fighters. They were broken into sets of 18, right? One group of 18, one group of 18, and one group of 18 that did nothing. One group of 18 had a mindset coach, someone who prepped them for their workouts, someone who promoted positive self-talk during their workouts and afterwards had them meditate and come down, versus a group that just trained. Same exact physical workout, it was 4 times a week, 90 minutes of work non-stop. Both groups did the same amount of work. At the end of a 4-week period, they had their bloods drawn. And what was noticed was the group that did the mindset training and had the mental tools, you know what happened? Their blood serum testosterone levels were almost 1.5 times the amount of the group that did not do that. Also, their cortisol levels were 50% less. That cortisol is responsible for holding the body fat. So I stress to you again, like I always do, that your mind and your body, they work hand in hand. A lot of people's body fat is a result of what they're constantly thinking, what they're constantly carrying on their shoulders. Right? So anyway, I'm going to put that in my description below the video. Comment. Hopefully I give you some things that you can use, some things that you'd like. And I kept the video under 15 minutes. Peace. As always, you're greater than any past conditioning. You're greater than any current circumstance. And ultimately, you are responsible for sharing the best version of yourself with the world. Peace.